And Jesus opens up an opportunity for a season to change. Oh, and he says, go and call your husband. And that opened up a way for her to speak in two ways. She could either cover up her situation, and she could say, he's out of town. She could say, I'm not living with anyone at the moment. She could have even said, my husband's dying. Yeah, I can remember when I was working in the drug rehabs, there was a man that came to see me, and I mean, he just smelled of alcohol. And I just said to him, how much alcohol did you drink last night? And he said, 1 pint. I'm thinking, you know, if I knew where they were selling that, I would tell everybody not to go there. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? I would tell everybody not to go there. And then I said to him, just wisdom, word of wisdom. Then I said to him, and how many pubs did you go in? He said 12. Can you see? But what he said was partially true, because he went into 12 different pubs. And he went into 12 different pubs for this reason, that nobody would ever know that he was an alcoholic. And in that pub, he only had one drink. In that pub, he only had one. In that pub, he only had one. See, we have opportunity to be open, and we have opportunity to stay in the place where we don't disclose anything. See, I believe that here, this woman, she opened up, she had opportunity. The opportunity was to become silent. She could have said nothing. Do you know, there's other people, when they're given opportunity to respond, is they just become excessive talkers. And they just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until they fill all the time. You know, they so talk in order to get attention, but they never tell you the real issue. They never tell you what's going on deep within them. And so even in that, can you see, that's another wrong response. He's only asking a one thing, and you can get to a point where you want to tell everybody everything, and you never get to the one thing. The one thing that God wants to deal with. And so here was this woman, and she responds to that. And she says, I have no husband. And she said, let's just pick it up. He told her, go call your husband. She says, I have no husband, she replied. And Jesus interrupts her at that point. He just comes at that point, and he says to her, you are right when you say you have no husband. The fact is, you've had 5 husbands, and the man you now have is not your husband. What you have just said is quite true, but there was no condemnation. Isn't that awesome? What you say is true, but there was no condemnation. Do you know why? Jesus was not so interested in truth. He was longing to bring her into relationship. And he drew her into relationship before he spoke truth. See, most people, we want to set out the truth boundaries first, and once we've got the truth sorted out, then we can have relationship. Once we get this dealt with, then we can deal with this. You know, and it's like Jesus, he gives us a whole different way of dealing with it. He draws this woman in to minister to him. He ends up ministering to her. And then he comes to the issues of her heart. And we need to start getting back to, a place where we do acknowledge the presence of God in our lives. You will become all that God intended you to be. See, don't cling to the first when God is establishing the second.
Hear this full message by ordering the 2 CD, DVD or MP3 set online at www.revivalfires.org.uk/store.
The convictions of your past will not help you in the present. Let me tell you, we're living in a day where God is just saying, go. The law is in order to lead us to the true realities.
To purchase or download this message, please go to www.revivalfires.org.uk/store.